As for the envoy, it is highly important to have an envoy to ensure that the voices of the Mozambique people, they are heard. Without an envoy from SADC, we run the risk of having my president being the only voice at the summit, telling the summit what is happening.
A clear request to the SADC region from human rights activists who are extremely concerned about the situation in Mozambique. The country has seen a wave of protests due to the disputed elections.
It's important that ahead of the Harare summit, the region SADC deploys an envoy to Mozambique to engage in inclusive consultations, to have a report that will reflect the situation. That report will be the basis of the discussion in Harare. It is not right to go to Harare to base the information only from what my president will say. His information being part of that problem and is part of the political crisis, is part of the human rights crisis that we are seeing in the country. So we need a credible, independent voice that will inform SADC.
Amnesty International has appealed to authorities to ensure that demonstrators are able to express themselves without excessive force. There are growing concerns as fatalities have been recorded in some cities.
Respect people's right to assemble, because this is a fundamental human right enshrined in the Constitution of Mozambique, but also in a series of treaties that bind Mozambique. Importantly, stop preventing people from communicating and having access to the internet. Stop shutting down the internet, allow people to express themselves and be able to organize and also share information both within the country and externally, so that we are all aware of the situation but also are able to advocate and mobilize and call out these human rights violations. There has been tear gas thrown in people's homes as they peacefully protest.
Activists say this crisis must be resolved now, as the implications can be far-reaching for the region.
You look at the historical ties with Mozambique. We look at the economic ties. I mean, that is massive. Look at the Lebombo border. South Africa's fuel, they come from the Maputo port. If that port is closed, if that border is closed, it will affect the price fuels in this country. It will not affect the government, of course, but it will affect ordinary citizens as the prices will rise. So it is not right. But strategically, remember, SANDF, your defense, they were in Cabo Delgado as part of SAMIM. They abandoned Cabo Delgado because the FRELIMO government, they were not giving them the right treatment. They were not treating SAMIM right. They were not treating SANDF right. They preferred to go out of the region to bring the Rwandese to the region. But if something goes wrong in terms of further violence in Cabo Delgado, that will affect South Africa.
Meanwhile, the Mozambican Constitutional Council is yet to validate the election results in the neighboring country. Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.